Hey boys and girls, it's Mrs. Jones, and this is the unit you all have been waiting for, multiplication. Y'all have asked me about it all year, and here we are. All right, so let's talk about what multiplication is. Okay, multiplication really is just repeated addition. Multiplication is an easier way to do addition. All right, whenever we are writing a multiplication number sentence, we call the answer the product. All right, do you remember what we call the answer to an addition number sentence? Yes, it's called the sum. How about a subtraction number sentence? You're correct. We call it the difference. Well, when we multiply, the answer is called the product. All right, now I want you to, today we're going to be exploring a model, a multiplication model, which means it's pictures and ways to represent multiplication. And we are going to be doing the repeated addition model. This will help us see that yes, multiplication is just a quick and easy way to do addition. All right, so look right here. I want us to look and see. I have drawn this rectangle. I've divided it into 6 parts. I have put 3 counters in each part. So first of all, if I were going to ask you, how many counters are there? All right, one way we could do that is to do an addition number sentence. 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3. All right, and then we repeated addition. It means we simply are counting by threes. So easy. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. So how many counters in all? 18. Now let's do this as a multiplication number sentence. All right, so when we're doing that, this is what we need to do. First of all, how many numbers, how many times did we write the number 3? How many 3's do we see? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 groups, or 6 times, we see 3 times. This is the symbol we use for multiplication. What is the number? What is the number that we repeat over and over? 3. All right, so then we would want to be able to say 6 times 3 equals 18. The product is 18. Okay, so you can do it as addition, or you can do it a fast and easy way as multiplication. This tells us we wrote this number 3 6 times. And when we did, we had 18 counters in all. The product was 18. All right, now we're going to go through and do this together. You have in your packet, it says May 4th through 8th math work. If you have not taken that apart yet, you need to do it. You're going to need the page with the red strips, and you need to cut those little squares apart. So if you have not done that, pause the video, cut them apart. Then you're also going to need this page that says Lesson 1. All right, so pause the video, get what you need, and then come back. All right, now I'm not going to do it on the board, or excuse me, on the paper with the red squares. I'm going to do it right here with you. All right, so I need to take my counters off. And if you will look at the paper, right here, you have 4 rectangles that we're using. All right, so that means after I take these off, I am going to have 4 rectangles. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to take away these. Okay, this should be what your paper looks like. Okay, you have the rectangles, the space to write your repeated addition number sentence, and to write your multiplication number sentence. I'm just doing it up here. All right, so first of all, we have this little story. So get your counters. And our story says there are 6 dogs. Okay, let's just say Jeremy has 6 dogs, and he decides to give them, there are 4 dogs, and he decides to give them 4 treats each. So these are our 4 dogs, and they're going to get 4 treats. So get your little squares, and we're going to put 4 in each space. The space represents the dogs, and there are 4 treats. Okay, so the next dog gets 4 treats. Whoop. The next dog gets 4 treats. And the next dog gets 4 treats. All right, now let's figure out how many treats that's going to be in all. Let's do it first with a repeated addition number sentence. So we have 4 plus 4 plus the next dog 4 plus the last dog 4. Okay, we have 4 dogs and they each got 4 treats. So now to figure out the sum, we're going to count by 4s. 4, 8, 12, 16. Okay, there's our repeated addition. Now let's make it into a multiplication sentence. Okay, remember, it's how many times did we write the number 4? How many 4s are there? There are 4 of them. Times, what's the number we repeated over and over? 4. 4 times 4 equals 16. And that is correct. 4 times 4 equals 16. All right, let's do our next story. So if you will look down at the bottom of that page, this time it says you have 3 boxes. So let me erase one of the boxes to make 3. I'm going to take off my counters. You take off the squares because you're going to use them again. All right, so here is our story. There are 3 children in the house, and Mom decides she's going to buy each one of them 1 ice cream cone. So here are our 3 children. They each get 1 ice cream cone. All right, so now we want to know how many ice cream cones did Mom have to buy. And to do that, first we're going to do our repeated addition. 1 plus 1 plus 1, and this is a very easy one. It's 3. Okay, now to do the multiplication sentence, how many times did we write the number? How many children? 3 times how many? What's the number we wrote over and over? 1. 3 times 1 equals 3. Okay, turn your paper over on the back. Okay, and on the back this time we see there are 5 rectangles that we're going to use as our model to represent something. And so I've got my 5 there. I'm going to erase this. Okay, all right, here is my new story. There were 5 students in the classroom, and Mrs. Jones gave them 3 stickers each. So our 5 students, each one gets 3. So put your red squares, 3 red squares. Each student gets 3 of them. Okay, now let's do our number sentence. Remember, repeated addition. We write 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes. Okay, now we count by 3s to figure out the answer. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. Okay, now let's change this into a multiplication number sentence. How many times did we write 3? 5 times. So 5 multiplied by, what is the number we wrote over and over? 3. And what was the product? 15. 5 times 3 equals 15. Okay, now we have a last one. The last one at the bottom has 7 spaces. So our story is going to involve 7 things. So I need to add 2 more to make it look like yours. And then I need to take off my counters. You can take your counters off also. And this time our story is about 7 people were going on a hike. and they were going to be gone for a while, so they decided to take 2 water bottles each. All right, so we have our 7 people, and they each are going to take 2 water bottles. So let's take our squares, give everybody 2. All right, once you've done that, I want you to pause the video, and I want you to write your repeated addition number sentence, just like we've done together. Then write your multiplication number sentence, just like we've done together. Do the sum here and find the product here. So pause the video and do that, and then when you come back, we'll do it together. Okay, now that you're back, repeated addition. Okay, it's the number 2 we're going to repeat. 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2. All right, I'm going to count them to be sure I didn't skip any. Sometimes it's easy to lose them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, I've got them all. Well, how easy is this? We count by 2s. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. So the sum is 14. Now let's make this into a multiplication number sentence. Okay, so we wrote it 7 times. The number we wrote was 2. 7 times 2 is 14. Hey, what do you notice about this? Okay, 7 times 2, boys and girls, if it's times 2, that means it's going to be a double. 7 plus 7 is 14. Okay, anytime you're doing times 2, you're going to find it's the double. It means you have 2 7s. That's a little quickie little hint there for you. All right, now, I want you to stay with me for just a minute because I want to show you something special about multiplication. Okay, so I am going to do this. Okay. I want to show you the difference between whenever we switch numbers around, okay? Whenever we switch numbers around, just like we do with addition, the commutative property, you still get the same answer, the same product, but it means something different, okay? This model represents 3 plus 3 equals 6, which means there are 2 times 3 equals 6. But look over at this one. This represents 2 plus 2 plus 2 equals 6. Okay, it is 3. We did it 3 times 2 equals 6. Okay, the commutative property, we can switch and get the same answer, but it's going to look different. All right, that's something to remember. They look different. This is 2 groups with 3. This is 3 groups with 2. Something to keep in your head. All right, now, first of all, you're going to save the red squares for tomorrow's lesson, so don't throw them away. Put them somewhere. Okay, I want you to turn this off. This is lesson 1, part 1 of multiplication, and we're going to do part 2 and use our workbook. So you need to get your workbook and find page 443, and then find the video, lesson 1, part 2.